never a bike rider when I was young. Now, when I was 6 years old, we went to Japan, and that's where I got my first bike, and I did ride a little bit there. When I got back to the States, I got a bike. I think I was probably around 10, or got a 3-speed full-size bike. I ended up taking my 3-speed and could ride. We had a bus that came up on Lookout at the time, so I would ride my bike over to the bus. And that's, where I started. Well, then they cut the bus out. He got me a new bike that was all properly geared and light and all those things, and I started riding back and forth to work. It was not hard. It was easier than riding to the bus stop on my 3-speed. It was that much difference in having gears and a light bike. I mean, that 3-speed bike must have weighed 40 pounds or something. And after I got divorced and wanted to meet new people, and the CBC was what there was, and I was still hopeful that I could work out. So I called and talked to some people, and they suggested, I think the Sunday afternoon rides were supposed to be fairly sedate, and I think I went on that and got to know several of the folks. Kind of took me under their wing and slowed it down a little bit, let me keep up with them, and I started having a ball. But I was anxious to go for something, go to Europe or go somewhere out of America to ride. And I talked my daughter, who was not, quote, into bike riding. And she and I headed to North England. We got a book that told you about rides, and we just headed out there, the two of us knowing nothing. But we had a ball. It was wonderful. Right now, my goal is to just still be riding until I'm 80. What I haven't done that I would like to have done, but it won't happen, is ride across the country. That's something I would love to have done, but that ain't happening.
So Daisy, if it hadn't been for you and Hugh, it's quite possible I might not have moved to Chattanooga.
Hugh was a 1 in a million. I don't know how to describe him. I was very fond of him. But he could ride. I mean, he was still riding well into his 80s. He unfortunately got Alzheimer's. And that's what stopped him, was that he didn't know where he was going. And I would try to keep up with him, and he'd get ahead of me. And, we ran into problems like that. But he was strong as he could be, even then. When I first met him, he was a kayaker. He lived in the Knoxville area. And I was a canoeist from Chattanooga. And the Chattanooga Club and the Knoxville Club, we, shared different things. And he would come down on our rides. And so I met him the first time I met him, we were going on an overnight ride. And he came down and joined us. And to be perfectly honest, I fell in love with him that day. Not right. I was married at the time, but we were friends, for years after that. Eventually, it worked out that we eventually got married. But he was just an amazing athlete. Anyway, one of the girls in the club broke something, and she got a recumbent. That was about the time I decided that what I needed, and she was encouraging me, was a recumbent to hold me up, so I wouldn't fall over like that. I just couldn't believe how easy it was to ride, and how comfortable I was, and how steady I was. So I started riding the recumbent then. It stays here. It has its own little resting place in there. Well, I feel very flattered, to be honest. I love cycling, and I'm so glad I've done everything I can to encourage other people to see what a wonderful sport it can be, that it's not just racing or competition. It's fun, and it's something that everybody can do. And somehow it seems like the nicest friends like to ride.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the Chattanooga Cycling Hall of Fame, class of 2022, Daisy Blanton.